if you're here today, the answer of this question is yes. You want an easy way to add machine learning into your app. So I don't know for you, but each time I create a new app, I want to make my app smarter and funnier than ever. To do that, almost 2 years ago, the app solution was TensorFlow, and the mobile version TensorFlow Lite. So I worked a lot with TensorFlow and TensorFlow Lite. It was like a neuro training, take hours to understand how to use TensorFlow, how to use a pre-trained model, use a script, create a new model, convert a TensorFlow model into a TensorFlow Lite model, and at the end put it on my app and cross my finger for all the thing works. It happens sometimes. I faced off many bugs and tried to understand each ones. Read hundreds of GitHub issues on TensorFlow and thousands of code lines on TensorFlow GitHub. That's what I wanted at the beginning. I just made a funny app quickly, without any pain, just for fun. And last year, Google released MLKit. MLKit contains TensorFlow Lite, and I was so happy because I have finally a documentation. With this new product, TensorFlow Lite is finally to a new product, not a contribution anymore, and we are less bugs, less incomprehension, and more documentation. But if I just want to make a quick app with some intelligence inside it, even if I use TensorFlow Lite through MLKit, I still need a good data set, a good pre-trained model, and or a script to create this model. But MLKit is not only for custom model, it's a toolbox. And in this toolbox, you have this part for custom models with TensorFlow Lite, and you have this other part called out-of-the-box solution, based API solution. Let's take a look on it. So you have some features available on MLKit. Some are available on device, so you run the model, you fetch the model, and run directly on device. And some are available on cloud, so you send your data and run it on the Google Cloud. So you have image labeling, you take a picture and you can have some label to describe this picture. You have barcode scanning, text recognition, face detection, my favorite, you can take a look after on it. Landmark detection, find famous place on a picture. At the end, smart reply. I made a lot of joke about this one because it was not coming soon since May last year, and they just released the first part in January, and finally the real smart reply a few weeks ago. We'll take a look on it also after. So the first question is, I need to run it on cloud or on device? The first thing is the performance. Obviously, the performance is better on cloud than on device. For example, for image labeling, if you take a picture or a football play with a player on it, on device, you will say you have a person on this picture, and on cloud, you will say it's a player. It takes more context and no more words. But you need to take care of the pricing. On device, it's totally free. On cloud, it's free for the first 1,000 use by month. After, it's Google Cloud pricing. So I prefer to avoid it. After the network, if you use MLKit directly on device, you are totally offline. And obviously, it's related data privacy. If you don't send your data to Google, it's better sometimes. So yeah, let's take a look at face detection. So you have three main features. The first one is recognize face on a picture, where the face, the rotation of the face, eyes, where is the eyes, nose. The second one is a contour of the face, so you can redraw the contour of the face, redraw the nose, the eyes. And the last one is recognize facial expression, determine whether a person is smiling or has the eyes open or closed. We will use this one to create a tiny app. So if you already use Firebase, you know how to use MLKit, because it just create a project on Firebase, download the Google services.json and put it on your app, add the dependency for Firebase, and just these two ones, Firebase ML Vision and Firebase ML Vision face model, because we'll use the face model in this case. After, I need to create my detector. So for create the detector, I just need option. Here, I want to know if the person ID open or not, so I take the classification mode. I put the option, Firebase Vision.getInstance.getVision detector of my option, and I have my detector. Here I use CameraKit because I don't want to use Camera 2. And when I take a picture, I have this byte array of the picture. I put it on a bitmap and put the bitmap in a Firebase Vision image. You can directly put byte array in a Firebase Vision image, I think. But in my case, I tried and the result was better like that. And I just run my detector. So detector.detect an image of my Firebase Vision image. In case of success, I put a filter of my on my screen. If I have no face on this picture, the filter is transparent. If the left eye is open and the right eye is open, I put a pink color. If just only the left eye is open, orange one, right eye open, a yellow one, and if both eyes is closed, a blue one. And that's all. With just these few lines, I have an app smarter with machine learning inside it. It's pretty quick to do. And it looks like that. My both eyes open, it's pink. I close one eye, orange. The other eye, it's yellow. And when I close both eyes, it's blue. So I plug my phone and take a look at the profiler to know if MLKit destroy my battery or my CPU. I tap 4 times to trigger the 4 colors. And in fact, the CPU percentage here for each tap, it's the highest usage when MLKit is called, with the times the CPU is used for MLKit. So it's not really big. It could be OK. And we can also see no network is required and no network is used when I called MLKit. Yeah, so let's go on smart reply, because this one is really important. It's the first one without text image recognition or classification. The first one with text. We have 2 different features into it: identify the language of the text and generate smart replies. So the first one, identify the language of the text, was released in January. Yeah, January. Yeah, for iOS before Android. Don't know why. And the same for create a detector on MLKit. It's always the same. You just put the Firebase. Here is Firebase natural language that get instance of the language identification. I put my text, identify language of my text. In case of success, I translate the language into a flag and put it on the screen. And it looks like that. Oh, my GIF. Wait a minute, because that the part it doesn't work. Yeah. So when I put the cheese, it finds English. When I put in French, it finds French. And when I put it in Dutch and Cas, it finds Dutch. But if I just put cheese, it finds English. If I put just it finds English too. If I put only Cas, it don't find the language. It's important because identify the language by MLKit, it's not a dictionary. You don't know the word. You know context and sentence. So it's the or le or un. It's a context of your sentence, and it detects the language through this context, not just with words. Yeah, so the second one is generate smart replies. They released it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, something like that. Dependency, always the same, the Firebase dependency, and here the Firebase ML natural language. Besides, you need to add these things in your build.gradle to not compress the TF Lite model, because in this case, in difference of the other MLKit feature, it's a TensorFlow Lite model you download from Google. I create my detector, Firebase natural language.getInstance.smartReply. And for smart reply, you need a list of message, a conversation. So for each of my message, I create a local user if it's my message, and a remote user if it's the message of the other person that you talk about. And I put on it the message, the time, and in case it's not me, the name of the user. And I just run it. So I suggest the replies. And in case of success, if the language is supported, I put the suggestion in my adapter kind of tag. And it looks like that. When you have a droid, it's smart reply answer. So here, what are you doing? Walking. I see. Here, I just use almost always the smart reply. So I am in a kind of circle of answer every time the same. But you can use, it can suggest emoticon to something like that. It's pretty good. Yeah. But we are different. That's part. And each of us is unique. And machine learning needs to be OK with that. It's not the case every time. It may be one of the biggest issues we have with machine learning today. So go back to the face detection and the facial contour feature. Again, create my option. Here, set contour mode. I take all the contour of the face. I create my detector, and I run it with my Firebase vision image. And in case of success, I draw the the contour of the face. What's available? So the contour of the face, of the nose, of the eyes, eyebrow, and lip. Like you can see, you have a lot of different parts of each part of the face. And it looks like that. When I take a picture, it draws the face. So it's pretty cool. It works pretty well. Yeah. So people are different. Sex, skin color, face form, disability. And a good machine learning models come from a good data set. And this data set needs to represent the real life, not only our reality. The MLKit model is pretty good, but not perfect. For example, I try it on a bunch of old people, and it never detects the face. And I try to cover one of my eye or one of other part of my face, and it creates an eye or a mouth it can't see. So the MLKit face control model is pretty good, but not perfect. But we can't shame it. It's just in beta, and it's when we find this kind of issue, we can report it to the team, and they can improve their model. It's in progress. So thank you. It's my Twitter, GitHub, Medium. I will try to write an article about how to do it, tutorial, and put it on Medium. I push you to use the Code Labs. It's every time the best way to understand new technology. I work for Disney streaming services. Merci beaucoup. If you have questions.
All the examples you showed, are they all running offline, or did you use the network?
If it's the question is every time it's used offline or not, it's every time offline. I never tried the cloud because it's too expensive. So 1,000 calls by month is, for me, not enough to try a technology. So I just don't try and prefer to try on device. Quite quickly, don't need to send the data, find it better. No? Okay, thank you.